can edit it out.
Yeah, we can edit this out. Okay, well, I'm Henry McCarthy, I'm veterinarian in Wawota, and I got Kevin Wadham here with me today. We're just wanting to make a little video here to help guys avoid a problem we've been seeing quite a bit of lately with both our businesses. And we've had a long cold winter. We didn't have as good a hay crop last year, and our cows are hitting the third trimester of their pregnancy, and we're starting to see a lot of cattle going down in body condition, and some of them even going down. And we're just going to try to help eliminate that problem, but we got some stuff that we need we got some stuff we want to show you, some tricks to notice your cows when they're in a bit of a negative energy balance before they get into a situation where you're trying to put weight back on them or noticing that they have gotten thin. So
particularly if your hay diet, if your diet is strictly hay, it's one of the things that you'll notice, that you think you're feeding them lots, but you're not necessarily getting enough energy into them. And just because you got a big pile of hay doesn't mean that you're giving enough energy. And there's some tricks to look for and things to see that will give you sort of key indicators that maybe you need to be talking to somebody for some ideas and some suggestions and some support.
And I think it's also important that we remember cows don't really eat hay, and they don't eat grain, and they don't eat straw. They eat bacteria that we build with hay and straw in the rumen, and we want to give them every chance to build as much of that bacteria and bacterial protein as possible. So what are the first thing you look at?
Well, one of the things that I always look at for guys, and it's if they have concerns, the first thing is always look at the manure. Your manure is actually the biggest key indicator of whether your cows are getting enough energy or not. We're going to try and show you some examples of today of cow pats that are ideal, and cow pats that you better be looking to and expect that there could be some issue happening, and it could happen quicker than you think. So we're going to try and cover some of those today, and again, to look at that simple fact that it's the rumen that we're feeding, not the cow, and it's how she converts it. And we're going to show you some examples of what I would consider a perfect cow pat, and we're going to show you some examples of you better get your head up because you're going to have some issues.
So here's, first of all, we're standing right here amongst a bunch of cow pats, and you can see here, this is dry, it's piling up behind the cow. They're on water, there's but this cow doesn't have enough energy in her to digest her food properly, so too much of that forages is leaving the rumen undigested and then passing through the cow.
And it's stacking up, and part of the reason is it's stacking because there isn't enough energy within the rumen to fully digest the roughage that you're giving her. And this is what's happening, is that it's too dry. And when a manure pat stacks like this, it's definitely, it may be a one-time thing, but chances are if it's happening, you need to watch more of the rest of your cow pats, because this is typically an energy issue.
And right behind us here, we've got some fresher stuff, or better stuff, I guess.
This is what I would consider ideal cow pats. Both of these, they've flattened out, they're the shape of a pie, and that's where they come from, is a cow pie. And these are almost identical. This one here is maybe a little looser. This one here is perfect, in my opinion. And that just tells you that the cow is utilizing everything she's got, and she's comfortable. 40 below weather ain't going to hurt her. And we're now into that third trimester of the cow carrying the calf in many conditions, not in many cases, not every case, but
they'll be able to put weight on that cow.
Absolutely. Yeah. These cows are maintaining or gaining. The other two cow pats we've seen, the cows have either lost all of the weight they're losing, or they're in the process of losing it.
Okay. And we don't just spend all our time looking at turds, but there's other things you can look at too. And one thing is how much time a cow does spend eating versus how much time she spends chewing her cud. Because when she's chewing her cud, she's making you money, and when she's eating, she's costing you money. So what's your rules of thumb?
Well, you're exactly right. One of the small things I look at, if you want to know how healthy your cow or your calf is, watch them chew their cud. When they're chewing their cud, if they're chewing quicker, they're actually in almost ideal health conditions. You'll find a cow that will chew a slow chew a cud. She's not as content and as in a good body condition as the cow that is more relaxed. The more relaxed she is, the more free she is with chewing her cud. And believe that, that's as strange as you can hear, but that is very true when you start looking at your cows. And you're right, if she's eating, she's costing you money.
Yeah. And some other things I look at too, how freely they move. Do they trot when they get up and go to water, or when something strange happens, or are they sluggish? You look at the way their hair coat's laying. You know,
one of the things is, if you're not bale grazing, if you're feeding the cows on a daily basis, a key indicator as well is if you're feeding them on a daily basis and the feed that you're giving them is gone before dark the day that you're feeding them, chances are you're not feeding them enough. A cow will come and she'll eat as quick as she can to get as full as she can, because it's a competitive business for them. And if you feed them at 9 in the morning and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon most of the feed's gone, you better step it up, because it's a key indicator as well.
Okay. But anyway, I think that's just a few of the things that you can look for, and when you see some of that stuff, or if you got any concerns, that's when you can contact either your veterinarian or your nutritionist. I want to thank Kevin Wadham. He's from Virden, JM Consulting, Beef Consulting, and thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed the little video.